What's going on YouTube? It's Phil here back with another video. So it's Semen Retention Sunday here again, which brings me up to 8 weeks of semen retention. So it's 56 days since I started this round of semen retention and going pretty well. So I had a little bit of a sleep in today. I didn't sleep in too late like I normally do on a Sunday, but a little bit of a sleep in, woke up, did my 20-minute meditation and then my gratitude journal. And I actually did my gratitude journal down at the local coffee shop. That's a nice coffee shop that I like going to, and it's got a pretty chill vibe. The people there are really nice, good vibes all around. So had a flat white and a slice of banana bread, just as a bit of a treat on my day off. So this is the start of my weekend. My weekends are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Got to get the car serviced Tuesday, so I'll have to do most of my running around today and probably tomorrow, and then teaching dance tomorrow night. And we'll try and go for a walk on Tuesday while the car's in for service. But yeah, going pretty well. I just thought I'd update everyone with how I'm going. I'm still here. No slip, slop, fap, apps, relapse for me. Sort of in a bit of a lull. I wouldn't call it a flat line, but I'm not sort of seeing any major energetic shifts, which is sort of not, I'm not thrilled about it. I'm not letting myself get frustrated, but sort of kind of watching and going, oh, I kind of wish I was a little bit further along than this and the energy was better and the reactions were better and things like that, but also trying not to get caught up in wanting people to react to me a certain way or wanting to force things. I'm just kind of letting things happen. I've also been doing a bunch of sort of research and trying to figure out this whole angels and spiritual guides thing. I've heard about it a lot and I've never really experienced that myself, but I'm at this point in my life where a few years ago I made a big change. I got out of what I was doing. So I was in IT for a long time, almost 20 years I was in IT. And then a few years ago, a whole bunch of things happened. COVID happened, the end of a major relationship happened. A whole bunch of things happened kind of at the same time. I almost had a midlife crisis, if you want to call it that. Definitely a spiritual kind of crisis. And so I had to get out of IT and go and do something completely different. So I was on a pretty good wicket in IT. I was getting paid pretty good money. I'd had almost 20 years of experience. I was working in corporate, but I just found it was getting all too toxic and all the DEI stuff was coming in, and just like that in combination with the usual rat race corporate grind stuff was just, I was just over it all. I was over having to self-edit at work and constantly walk on eggshells around people and for this, and basically constantly turn up to work wearing a mask. I just felt like I couldn't be authentic, couldn't be myself, and I didn't need the money anymore. I got to a point in life where I'm not rich or anything, but set up enough to not need to do any of that anymore. So I went and did something completely different, and I got into body work. So I did a bunch of qualifications and now I'm a body worker. I'll talk about that a little bit more, but that's just sort of what I do. So there's a lot of manual therapy, massage type work, quite technical musculoskeletal work, physio sort of stuff. It's a bit of a mishmash what I do. That's kind of what I do. I just call myself a body worker. I don't really roll around with the titles too much. I pretty much just do that. But I got into it more just to help people directly and get out of a cubicle, get out of the rat race, escape the matrix, and do something that's a bit more personally rewarding. And even though I don't get paid anywhere near as much as what I used to get paid, I find this work a lot more fulfilling. And it gives me a lot more personal time and flexibility too, which I didn't have before. So that's awesome. So yeah, a couple of things have happened in clinic recently, and I noticed, I don't know if this is related, it's sort of some things it's hard to put down to coincidence, but I was treating a client this week and I was treating a lot around the neck area, this muscle sort of called SCM, sternocleidomastoid. It's one of the anterior neck muscles, and hers was extremely tight, but I noticed while I was treating her, because you're quite near the throat when you treat this SCM muscle, and hers was just jacked up, like on one side, particularly on her left side, it was really, really jacked up. So I treated that. It took quite a long while to let go. But while I was treating her, I started to feel in my throat and like a real discomfort, and to the point where I was getting, like, I was tearing up while I was treating. think she had her eyes closed, she couldn't see me, but I'm like kind of tearing up while I'm treating her, and it's almost like I could feel what she was feeling. Now, I'm not a particularly empathetic or intuitive person. I'm quite cerebral. I have quite a nerdy, brainy, intellectual, cerebral side. That's my strength. And a lot of that, I think, has come from my background. I shut down a lot of the intuitive side to me, even though I am quite sensitive and maybe even empathetic underneath it all. That side was never cultivated in me. It was all about academics, brains, cerebral, nerd, smart, sit still, don't feel sort of energy. And I've spent a lot of effort and energy recently trying to overcome all that sort of stuff. But there's glimpses of me becoming a bit more intuitive and empathetic. And I mean empathetic in quite a literal sense. Like I can feel things more. I had to do a lot of work. I've done a lot of spiritual work over the last few years, like a lot. And I'm not talking about the typical stuff people think of as spiritual work. There's a lot of courses around and stuff on YouTube. And I mean, I did stuff like I did addiction recovery. I did, went to see psychologists. I did a lot of body work. I did different, I tried a lot of things. I did, hallucinogenics. I meditated, prayed, just a lot of things over the last few years. And I'm going to do a video on my story one of these days, but it's going to be a long one. I might have to break it up, but that's not what this is about. I'm just sort of describing where I've been at the last few years, just giving a hint towards that and how that's fitting into what's been going on recently. So I'm just finding I'm a little bit more open and intuitive and empathetic in a literal sense in clinic. I actually had another client of mine, a regular, say that I seem to be shut down. And I did notice the day before I saw her, I was feeling quite negative and closed off, and it might have been that. But it's interesting when clients note that they can notice energetic shifts in me, because before it was like a wall. It was just like there was nothing getting in or out and people couldn't notice anything. Whereas I think now that wall has come down a lot, and there's that energetic exchange both ways. But anyway, without getting into a big, tangent on all that, I will go through a big video of my whole spiritual journey, and there's quite a bit there. There's quite a bit to talk about. But that's just been what's going on the last week. But I'm still here, still on SR, still plan to be on SR. The 8 weeks is pretty much the almost 2/3 of the way through the 90 days. And 90 days, I'm going to Bali, pretty much bang on the 90 days when that comes up, going to a retreat. It's work related. I'll be learning some skills that I can take into my body work. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, just thought I'd update everyone with where I am at on the journey. So I hope you're doing well if you're tuning in, grateful if you're tuning in, and just if you're on the journey, if you're watching this, or if you're thinking about starting SR, just get in on it. Just start. A year from now, you'll wish you'd started a year from today. So just bear that in mind. You always wish you'd started. Looking back, you're going, I spent all this time. I could have just done that and I'd be a year into it, or whatever it is into it. So if you're thinking about SR or you're on SR, get in on it. Drop a comment below. We're all in this together. It doesn't matter if you're 0 days, 1 days, 10 days, 1,000 days. Get on the SR. Semen retention. It will change your life, and give it a good go. Give it at least the 90 days before you make a judgment on it one way or another. Give it a go and drop a comment below. Let us know how you're going, if you're struggling, if you're doing well, little wins you're having, little setbacks. It doesn't matter if you relapse. Don't get into the shame spiral. Just get back on the horse and start riding. Okay, I'm going to leave it for there. I don't want to make this video too long, but that's 8 weeks for me. Going well, and I'll try and get another update in the next day or two. I'll see you on the next one.